So our guest today, gosh, what can I say? I've got so much to say about you, my friend. Um, she has over 10 years of experience serving others in mental and emotional support. She has her associate's and bachelor degree, both in human services and a master's of arts in mental health. She currently works as a professional facilitator, creative consultant, and regional supervisor for youth services in the Indiana area. And her passion is to serve humanity and mental health education through creative arts expression. Friends, can you please help me welcome our first guest, Miss Arika at Booth. Arika, it's so good to have you in the house tonight. Thank you for being here.
I'm so honored to be here. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah, I love it. So, friends, this is a little bit different conversation I alluded to because not only do we have Arika here with us, but Arika led a very, very special group on grief with mothers, and she has a few of her members with us. Arika, what I'd love for you to do is you just take the microphone and introduce your circle for us. Could you do that for a moment?
I would be glad to.
Yeah.
I have a few people here that are part of that support circle. And then I have some people here that are also part of my personal support circle that I want to take some time to share about as well. So first I see Rhonda. And Rhonda was actually my very first ever group member in this really special support space. And I had an immediate connection with her. And so I just want to take a moment to shout out to her. She's just a beautiful person, beautiful heart, and her journey is a very unique and special journey. And I'm just honored that she's kept me around as long as she has to support her. And then I see Lisa, who is a part of our group, which we called Moms with Memories. And I'm so excited to hear from Lisa tonight, too. She is such a strong and fierce woman, and just someone I really, really admire. So I'm excited for you guys to hear from her tonight as well. And Sabrina, who's also here, is actually my aunt. She is my mom's best friend, and she has also experienced losing a child. And she's someone I very much admire, and I wanted to really have her be a part of this conversation and share some supportive and encouraging words as well. And then I just also want to shout out because I see my best friend, Nicole, Nikki, I call her, and we've been best friends for over 25 years, and she's a huge support. And so, there's some women I see here that I'm just so grateful to have here. And I just want to say hello and welcome to this space. And for all of you that I have not met yet, I'm so honored that you're here, and I'm so grateful. And I see Sandy just joined. Sandy's another one of our group members from Moms with Memories, and Sandy is so special. She is a bright light. You can't help but smile as soon as you see her because she just radiates just this whole beautiful vibe. So I'm just so excited to see them in here and to start this conversation.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Those of you that Arika have mentioned, we're going to get to hear from you in a second. What I'd love for us to do. So those of you that are just joining us, I'm Jeff. I'm going to be your host for the hour. Miss Arika is talking about her experience with one of the groups that she led, titled Honoring Moms with Memories. Now, she was the facilitator of this group. These ladies came in. What I'd love you to do, Arika, is unpack that a little more for us. Give us an idea of the group, why it was formed, and those that came to the group, what was the biggest need that they had in their life at that particular time. Can you set it up a little bit more for us?
Absolutely. So we started our journey together in kind of different timelines. So I first met Rhonda, and this would have been about a year and a half ago. And she was my very first ever group member in our space. And so it was my very first group on the Circles platform. And so we had our own group and we had some other members in the group, but Rhonda had also expressed that she was really seeking some more meaningful connections with other moms who truly understood what she was going through. And so through our conversation, we decided to reopen our group. And I just knew there was some other really special connections that were waiting for her. And so, summer of last year, we decided to reopen our group and we had more members join us. And that is when we met some more women who became part of our really supportive space. And that's where the members that are here right now, that's where Lisa and Sandy came in. And I have to say, our first session, and I'm sure we'll get to that later, but it was quite interesting. We had some technical difficulties and Sandy jumped in and broke the ice right away. So she just made us all laugh and smile because that's what Sandy does. And so that was really the beginning of our new group space. And I was really blown away as we evolved because I could tell with the six of us. Oh, and we have another member from our group space, Bridget, who just joined us as well. So I wanted to say hi to her. But it was really special because there was six women who were so consistent in showing up for this group space, and they so naturally bonded with each other. It was almost like this immediate connection where I could tell right away that these six women were going to be friends for life. And now it's been over a year that we've been together, and I've seen that it's going to be a very long journey for us. Like, we are lifelong friends and family at this point. So we really created some goals about, what we were seeking in our support space. And many of the women in our space have a lot of family and friends, great support systems, people who are really there for them. But the one thing that I found that they all truly shared that they were seeking was, I'm sorry, I'm going to get emotional because I just love these women so much, was for women who they could truly take off any feelings of guilt or any feelings of their grief and take off that mask and just be real with each other. Smile together, laugh together, heal together, and truly connect with other women who truly understood every feeling they were feeling. And that's from what I have seen, that's what they share with each other.
The connection part is so beautiful that I see, Arika. And for those of you that are listening into this space tonight, this is really unique because this is actually a year later. So we are looking at the healing process kind of in the rear view mirror. This group, Arika, the leader, and her community is coming on and saying, we want to share with others our experience. And it's been profound, this experience. Arika, I wonder if you could kind of lead the way, maybe introduce your community to us, giving them a chance to share what brought them to this specific group that we're talking about tonight. And those of you that are going to share, feel free to share as much or as little, whatever you feel comfortable with. But I'd love for the rest of us to get where we were at in our life. What was our loss? What drew us to the group, etc. So do you want to introduce Arika and then let your members share their story a little bit?
I'm so glad to. And I think we'll start with Rhonda. I'm going to turn it over to her to share and then let her pay it forward and pass it on because Rhonda, just being that very first group member in this space, I think it'd be really great to hear from her and start with hearing her unique journey.
Wonderful. Welcome, Rhonda. Go ahead. The floor is yours.
Thanks, Arika. Thanks, Jeff. I'm happy to be here with everyone. Not a group we wanted to join, of course, but certainly a gift to have found it. My journey began March 16th, 2022. I lost my youngest son, Braden Murphy, unexpectedly to an illness. He was 28. And I really, like Arika said, we're looking for a space where I could just be a grieving mom with no judgment. And if not for only an hour a week, have a space that I could laugh without feeling guilty and have people understand my pain. We started with many tears, and we saved space for one another. And it's become literally, like Arika has said with her facilitation, and she's family now. It's become a family, one in which we will all meet up some point soon in the United States. And it's been a gift. It's kept me breathing. It's kept me standing. If I miss a week, I feel it. So it's truly an honor. And it's a group of 6 powerful women sharing a journey we don't want to share, but we have, and a facilitator that is just, we can't explain. She's just a treasure. She's a gift. So with that being said, I will hand it to Lisa.
Wonderful.
I knew I was going to be next.
Yeah, because I'm going in order that we joined. It's not that I don't
Yes,
love all of you equally.
Yes, ma'am. Hi, I'm Lisa. I am from Arizona, but currently standing in Dallas, Texas. I lost my 26-year-old daughter, Carla, on March 22nd of 2022. My daughter was addicted to drugs and got high and walked onto the I-10 freeway in Phoenix and took her own life. Prior to that, I had gone through the horrors of addiction with her for about 3 years of her worst addiction. And I was desperate to find somewhere to be where I felt like I was sane. I could come to a room full of women. And when I said what I said, they knew what I was talking about on a very personal level. So I always felt like when I came, that was the one place I was safe to be who I really am while I'm grieving and not feel crazy. So I thank God for that. I thank God for bringing me this far and for this space and for Arika. She's the sweetest, most kind, giving woman. And I love, love, love my group mates. And I'm going to pass it off to Sandy.
Thank you, Lisa. Go ahead, Sandy.
Oh, Lisa, you made me cry.
I'm sorry.
Hi. Hi, I'm Sandy. I lost my son on June 10th, 2022 to anaphylaxis. And like everyone said, I do have a huge support system, family and friends, and they were all here throughout, throughout the year. But I really needed somebody to understand exactly what I was feeling. So I joined the group. And yes, I met 6 amazing women that taught me that laughing is okay. We're okay. We're going to be okay. It's okay not to be okay too. And I depend on them more than they realize. Sometimes when I check in on them, I'm really checking in myself, because I need them. And having this group, it really, like Rhonda said, like if you miss a week, you feel like the emptiness of that week. So I'm thankful to Arika and all of you and all of them, because it not that anything makes anything easier from losing a child, but it helped the journey with them. And now I'm going to pass it over to my Bridget.
Thank you, Sandy. Thank you. Bridget, go ahead.
I'm Bridget. I lost my baby to preeclampsia at 5 months, and I knew, that I was going to need a lot of therapy after that. So I was very happy to find a group, because a therapist was one thing, but I heard somewhere that being a parent that's lost a child is like living on another planet, and everyone else is still on this planet of, oh, I would never survive if I lost my child. And the rest of us were over on the other planet of, I lost my child and I survived. So here we are. And these were the people that I could tell, like, some of the amazing things that I learned. Like, we must be like really badass and really strong because we did survive. And other people, and we must all be like a lot stronger than we think we are because we did make it through this. And then also the people I could tell when I was really sad. And I also learned a lot about how you can't compare, like, because we all had very different losses, and everybody's loss, everybody's situation is hard for them. So mine was hard and theirs was hard, regardless of the age of your child or how it happened. That it's our personal loss and it's hard for them. So that was, I think, a good to share that with each other, and to go through the whole year and see how things changed for all of us, and to be able to say, you know, this isn't getting easier, or today it feels better, and to have that company of people to talk to was amazing.
Yeah. I love it. Thank you, each of you, for being brave enough to share. You know, the question that comes to me when I listen to you all talk, I've heard judgment free. I found somebody that could listen to me. I heard that it was okay to laugh. I think it was Sandy who said it's okay not to be okay. I'm really curious about how 6 strangers, yes, with loss, yes, the commonality is loss and pain, but I've met people who have lost people, and I've lost, and there wasn't this common bond. I'm very curious as to what you think, ladies, was the creating point for this common bond between all of you. What made it special between all of you? Any one of you want to jump in there? Rhonda, I see your hand. Go ahead. Thank you.
Arika made it special. She saved space for us weekly. She listened. She reflected. She made us feel comfortable. And when we weren't in group or having a difficult time, she checked in with us afterwards. And then I really think we just had a great deal of respect for one another. I don't know. I think we laugh about it because we think our children sent us to each other, and we think they're up there having the time of their lives laughing at us. So, but I would say Arika was the glue to this group for sure.
Wow. Thank you so much for sharing. Bridget, I see you. Go ahead.
I have to say that before I joined the group, before the group started, I read all the people's profiles, and there were quite a few people, and I thought it was like too many. But like the first time we met, there were only, I don't know, 6 people, so that seemed manageable. And we had, I don't know how many, 3, 4 people who maybe only joined us once, and some of them were maybe older. Maybe there were some technical difficulties. I remember one. There was a man who, in his profile, he had taken the time to fill out his whole profile, and they had lost their baby, and he never ended up joining our group. So it breaks my heart sometimes to think about I don't know what the barrier is. Maybe that it's hard for some people to get into therapy, or it's hard. The technology is hard, but all those people who don't get the help that they need, that we need to do something about that, because that breaks my heart when I think a lot about all those people that came this close. I'm holding my fingers really close together. They came this close to getting into a group and getting the fellowship that we have, and they didn't quite make it.
I'm curious, friends, and Arika, maybe you can address this in your leadership role and facilitator role. What have you found that does deter people from joining? Have you identified any particular things that you could share with us? Why wouldn't somebody reach out and join help when help is right there for them?
I think there's a lot of different individual factors on that, but when I've been serving in this space, I feel like a big piece I saw was a fear of vulnerability, a fear of kind of even just having a hard time still expressing some of those underlying emotions that are very, very personal and hard to share. And also, I think, in this space, when there is also each person navigating very intense pain, I think that it can also be very triggering. So I think with that in mind, even if people have the right intentions of, really wanting to be there and receive support, it can also be a lot to offer support or to hear others' journeys. And so it's very important to be very intentional about knowing what individual triggers are, knowing how to support each person and paying attention, because I know for me as a facilitator, I am closely paying attention to each person in that space. So I'm aware of when I see something that may be triggering and how to support them. And, I can't speak for other support spaces. I just know that that's very important when we're sharing very personal things.
Yeah. Sometimes the intensity of sharing can be intimidating. Yes. It's like I can see that very much. Somebody else had their hand up. Did I miss you?
It was me, Sandy.
Yeah. Go ahead, Sandy, please.
I think sometimes it's also like when I first started, I was skeptical to join a group, is because my grief was so profound and so overwhelming that if I listened to somebody else's grief, that I would lose my grief and grieve for them. I don't know if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was more like saying, like when I heard everyone's story, I felt for them, and I didn't want to lose my grief just yet. I didn't want to lose that. So I think it's fear of losing your memory of your child, or whatever, and concentrating on somebody else's grief. So that's what my fear was when I first joined. Like, I was skeptical of joining it, and I think that's what a lot of people, they don't want to lose their grief.
Yeah. I just want to chime in. I love that, Sandy, because I can see that coming into a space and you're there because you're hurting. You're there because you need to express the pain that you're going through. But yet when somebody else starts sharing their pain, you almost are grieving and mourning over their pain, which doesn't actually give you space and time to grieve over yours. So I can see that war, right? That battle between. Did I get that right, Sandy?
Yes, you absolutely. You got it right. You expressed it better than I did. But after I got in and I met these women, and it it was great. I hate to use that word great, and I always hate to use the word great because it's not great. I I love these women, but I wish I was never in that. I was never in this group. You know, I wish I never had to.
Yeah.
I wish they were never in this group. But
Yeah.
it was more once I started listening and they listening to me, it became support as opposed to fear. You know, it just became so there was one instance, and I don't know if Lisa, you remember, where it was the Tuesday and we got in and I was very quiet and everybody was talking and Lisa said, "Stop, Sandy, what's the matter?" Because she knew
Mm-hmm.
right away that I was having a horrible day that day, and she knew. And by the end of half an hour, I was laughing, and I wasn't feeling guilty for laughing, you know, because we made up some stuff. Like we just went all, you know, we just started talking, and like I said, it was okay to be not okay, you know. So,
Yeah.
and ever since then, I knew that I needed to be with them. I needed to be in this space and to because it helped me. It helped 14 months. It helped me, and I depend on them more than, like I said, more than anybody realizes how much I depend on this group.
Yeah. I love it. We have another question or comment, and am I pronouncing it right? Amis?
Oh, it's Ames. Hello, I just joined.
Ames. Yeah. Go ahead. What's your question?
Oh, I just wanted to share something that I'm experiencing now because I think I heard Sandy was talking about having a bad day and relying on support groups to, gain support and encouragement. And I have been feeling that I'm having a really bad week. I just first of all, like my beloved cat got really sick, and we had to rush to the emergency vet for an exam and get medicines. But she's getting better now. But I just feel like 2023 has been really tough for me. Like, first of all, the divorce that I was going through that I thought was gonna be over is not over. Like, we're actually heading over to trial. And then I got laid off in my job. And then I was trying to start off another project, but it just feels like the momentum is not picking up yet. So now, like, looking at the calendar, tomorrow is September 1st. I just get this like sense of urgency, but also like this sense of like powerlessness. It's almost feeling like I'm going against the tides, and I'm almost feeling I'm in a streak of bad luck. Like, it's just a lot of really unexpected things happening this year that, like, to the point I was like, what is going on? As God is trying to tell me something, but I just couldn't figure out the message other than like I'm in a really low point or low valley of my life. And whenever I feel the negative energy, I'm really scared of the negative energy because I also do believe in the law of attraction. So like having the negative thoughts makes me feel like I'm attracting more negative things. So it actually puts me in a panic mode.
Right.
I'm just really at like a loss of what to do and how to kind of adjust.
Well, first of all, I appreciate you for your courage to share. Ames, thank you very much. You're talking now to a group of ladies who are looking back in hindsight from the tragic loss of their children. So we're looking at loss from a different perspective, but what you're saying, I think, resonates from the fact of, ladies, maybe you can help our friend. How did you unpack that day after day after day of sitting with those deep, dark, maybe sad thoughts and feelings, wondering if this would ever turn around? Can ladies, can you share? Arika, anybody in our group can share? How did you manage those days, and maybe how did you turn it around? Yeah, Carla, I see your hand. Go ahead. Did I miss you, Arika? Go ahead.
I actually was going to ask Sabrina to share a little bit on this one. She is one of the most resilient women I know who has overcome a lot of adversity. And I would just love to take a moment just to hear from her and hear what support maybe she'd be able to offer to Ames in this moment.
I love it. I love it. Sabrina, go ahead. You've got the floor.
Okay, so my journey is probably a little bit different. My perspective is a little different. Nothing changes grief. Grief is grief, and everybody deals with it in their own way. I lost my 31-year-old son last year on July 30th. So yesterday made 13 months. He was in the hospital for 2.5 months. It was sudden and unexpected, and we thought he was going to recover, and he didn't. But actually he did. This is just my own personal views, because I'm a very spiritually based person. If it were not for the grace of God, I would not have gotten through anything, because a year before my son passed, my dad passed, and that was tragic as well. And there was some suffering in his passing. Several months before that, there were some other tragedies that happened within our family. Very serious tragedies that happened with my granddaughters. I won't go into detail on that. And then it seems like, with what you were saying, that it seems like it's never ending. There's always something coming at you, trying to tear you down. If you are a spiritually based person, or you believe in God or a higher power at all, that's what you have to cling to when these things are hitting you. It's because our purpose on this earth is greater than what we even see it. So when things come at you and it's repeated, this isn't, like I said, I'm very atypical, but it is building your strength. It is building your resilience. It is building your trust in God or whatever your higher power is. It's strengthening your faith in that. It's also because in order to be lifted up and to be stronger, we have to go through trials. We have to go through things that are difficult. And there isn't a day, there is not a day that I don't miss my crazy 31-year-old son. Not one day. He's my oldest son. He was my middle child. Nothing will ever replace him. We have a lot of good memories. I met Arika when she was a teenager. And so, our families have done a lot of things together. So she knew Justin as well. Nobody's grief is worse than someone else's. No one is going to get through it the same. But the biggest thing that I can tell you, the thing that because I still keep getting hit. I lost my job in June. I just, it's medical conditions. I mean, you name it, and it has come at me. My saving grace is God. And the more I learn about him, the better I feel, and the easier it is for me to get through the day. Regardless of what your beliefs are, we're all still human. We're all still going to grieve. And it's great that you guys have this group. It really is. I have a wonderful support system within my family and friends, and my best friend, Rochelle. These people that I call friends, you have to reach out to those. And it's not always somebody that you think you're going to end up friends with. Everyone in this group has come from different backgrounds, different areas geographically. You've had different things go on in your life. It doesn't mean that you, in the common bond, yes, it is grief, it is loss, but out of tragedy, you can find good things, like lifelong friends. So, that is, like I said, my journey has been different than a lot of other people. I know several people who have lost children, anywhere from stillbirths to miscarriages to children of all ages. And it is never easy on the parent. You never think as a parent that your child is going to pass before you do. The one thing that I know for a fact is that when I'm done on this earth, I'll see my son again. That is also something that brings me comfort. and just when Justin described what he was seeing right before he passed, and he was saying, Mama, I want to go there. Mama, you have to take me there. And I'm like, buddy, Mama can't take you there. He said, but God can. He's not left you. So Jesus can take you there. He goes, Mama, I want to go. Before he passed was part of my comfort and my peace. And, so, I mean, that's kind of the short end of my story. So, you just have to hold on. You have to hold on to whatever gives you strength. You have to hold on to the good memories and the good thoughts and the good pictures. You can't stay in place and spin your wheels in the mud. And that's, unfortunately, that is a reality. And you have to think, would your loved one want you sitting here grieving all the time and never enjoying a day and never laughing and never doing something fun? Most of us, we have different things go on in our lives, but yes, we have joy. And that's something that we have to reach for. And we have to remember when that person was here, when our child was here, did we do fun things with them? Did they get upset when we laughed or when we were having fun? Because you're having fun and laughing and smiling doesn't mean that you've forgotten them. It doesn't mean that they are no longer important. It means that you are healing a little bit so that your heart can be happy again.
Yeah. I love what you just said, Sabrina. I wondered if we could talk a little bit more about that. I know, Carla, you have your hand up. I want to get to you. Ladies, I'd like you to think, by the way, if you're just joining us, we are talking about honoring moms with memories. Our facilitator, our guest facilitator, is Arika Atbooth. She led this group for over a year of these ladies that we're talking about now. And they are, in hindsight, looking at their journey together, finding the common bonds together, and how they've been able to move forward with their lives after experiencing excruciating pain of the loss of their children. So if you're just joining us, this is a mouthful conversation, so just hang on to your seat really tight. But there's so many nuggets that we've already dropped that can be of help. And what I want to just echo is this word resilience. Sadness, I've learned, is a muscle. If we exercise sadness, we become powerfully sad. But if we exercise hope and faith, that too is a muscle. And we can look at tragedy in the face and go, yes, but you will not defeat me. I might be knocked down, but I'm going to get back up. And I'm going to keep getting back up, and I'm going to keep smiling. You can't keep a person like that down, right, ladies? You've experienced that firsthand on your journey. So thank you for for sharing. Somebody put vulnerability in the chat. I absolutely love it. Carla, you've been so patient with your hand up. I do want to give you the floor. What's on your heart?
Hello, yes, hey everybody. So this is my first time to know about this group, and I'm sorry. I have to choose in between be inside or be outside. I'm picking up some food, and it's a lot of noises inside. It's many noises outside, so I don't know what to do. I'm so sorry. But anyways, my point. I didn't know about the group, and if I can be welcome, I would like to join it. Lose my baby, 9 years old, to cancer, uh, 20 years ago. And it's like it happened today. That never get over. It's easier, yes, but never get over. The memories are fresh, the laugh, her rosy cheeks, they are very present to this moment. And like Sabrina said, my only counselor, my only strength, my only anchor was God. Matter of fact, because I lose hope. I was raised as a Christian, but life take another route, and I'm struck for many years. And it was her love that took me back to his feet again. And I know that we not talking much about Christianity, but all I can say is that him and only him was my strength and my comfort at the biggest moment of my life. I can compare another loss as the one that I had, my child. Um, and then, like Sabrina say, I had so many things that happened to me. Um, Losses of, I have to leave her father a little bit after that she died. Um, then I get married, then divorced, and so forth, struggles, and so many different things. It's still, to the people that knows me, I am the most positive person that they know. I'm the most stronger person that they know. I always have a smile, and I always have something that give you, um, to support you and to give you strength. And nothing I can say that I'm being thankful for it than losing her. Yes, I lose her. I grieve her, and I will grieve her to the end of my days. But that girl was strong. She showed me what is strong to be. What she one month before she died, she knew she was gonna be gone. She asked me to leave her dad, because I live in under domestic violence for 14 years of my life. And she asked me, she said, I want you to leave this man. She did not refer to her dad after that. She said, I want you to leave this man. Promise me that when I'm going, you're going to be gone too. I don't want to see you from heaven being beat up by this man anymore. And I did. I left after she left. So it's so many different things, guys, that I would like to talk to you about. And if you are honoring me to let me join your group, and I will be so happy and pleased. And then
I love.
we can share the support and the strength. That no matter if it's 20 years ago, if it was last year, it's the same. The loss of our babies is the same. And thank you so
I
much. And for the ones that need support and strength, I don't know if you believe in a higher power, but I can tell you that nothing is better than that.
mm, thank you, Carla. Oh wow. Yeah, the hearts are in the air. I think we have to just pause and just reflect on what just was said and what just took place. I think that is so beautiful. Wow. And Erica, I would like you to speak to that if you could a little bit. Maybe how Carla can reach out to you, how she can connect so she can learn more about what's available here on Circles for her. Could you do that?
Yeah, I mean, for one, I feel very inspired because it just sounds like we need to reopen a new space. Just because I'm all about supporting hearts and connecting. And even though our group has been together, I know how special the women are in our space who would just love to connect more. So, yeah, I've got some ideas on how we can go about like recreating a new space to welcome more of you, because I just really appreciate you sharing your hearts with us. And I'm so grateful that we've been able to connect this way. And I know that Circles itself has a lot of different opportunities to join groups, and we've got the audio rooms. And those spaces as well. But I just see a lot of need to connect more and kind of the virtual space that we started with and that we created in our space. So I would just love to find a way where we could get a new space going and bring some more amazing women into our space.
Yeah,
So
I love that. And Carla, you might be new to the app. If you are, Erica, her circle or her avatar that you're looking at, if you just press and hold and then let up, you'll see a button that says follow. You can follow Erica, you can follow all the other ladies in the room, and then you can actually message them, maybe starting that community as well. And also thinking about maybe, Carla, that of an opportunity for you to open your own room here on Circles and creating a space where you could invite others to your room. I think that would be beautiful as well. Ladies, I cannot thank you enough. We're going to run out of time. Would you believe we only have just a few minutes left? I wonder if a couple of you might address how you've been able to balance keeping the memory alive while yet moving forward and going on with your life. Who can take that question for me? Yeah, Sandy, I see your hand. Go ahead.
I talk about him a lot, you know, even if I make people uncomfortable, I like talking about his accomplishments and what he would have done and stuff. I enjoy talking about my son. And I have pictures of him everywhere. Once a month on his anniversary, I put up something on Facebook. But I read someplace that it's a mom's duty to take care of their children, and it's a mom's duty when she loses one to keep his memory alive. So I'm always going to keep his memory alive that way by just always talking about him.
Yes. So talking openly about someone that we've lost is a way to continue to remember them. Also using social media is a way as well. I appreciate that so much. Sabrina, you have a thought? Go ahead.
Well, I talk about my son. I talk about Justin all the time. A friend of mine, right after he passed, and we had an unconventional ceremony for him. It was not a funeral. It was a celebration of life. Justin loved to dance, loved music, and he was the audiovisual guy at our church, which is now named after him. So we had his service at our church. We did a lot of dancing. We did a lot of pictures. So I have a whole memorial page for him on Facebook. So when memories come up that have him in it, I post it on there. If something comes up that, you know, that I just want to share with anybody that's within that group, you know, then I post it so everybody can look at it. I have it's a miniature Christmas tree that I had made Justin's memory tree that stays on my front porch because he was a huge Chicago fan because that's where he was born. And so, in sports, anything. And then there is a whole cabinet that I have that has different favorite things of his in there. He loved penguins, so there's a stuffed penguin from the aquarium that his nieces had gotten him. There's, you know, multiple different things. So, you know, and just sharing his memory with everybody. Or so I'll go buy something and be like, oh, man, I was at Walmart the other day, and it's like, Justin would love those socks. I got to get those socks. He was a crazy sock guy. So, you know, stuff like that. And just sharing that. And don't be afraid to talk. If it offends somebody, that's their problem, not yours. And, you know, we have our memories, and we need to share those, and we need to keep them alive by talking.
I love it. More talking about it. I want to get to Kelly. Before I do, ladies, Arika, maybe you could lead this conversation for us. I'd like to talk about self-care and how you have found self-care. What are your tips? What are things that we could all do in self-care? But before we go there, Kelly, I see your hand. Thank you so much. The floor is yours.
Hi, I was wondering, my app keeps like shutting down and I missed some of what you were saying earlier. I was wondering if this is like a group for remembering our mothers or mothers remembering their children.
Yeah, very good question. It's mothers remembering their children is this particular group, and we're actually looking back on a group that has been in existence for over a year, and you're listening to members that are part of that group, are continuing to be a part of that group, sharing their story. Arika, you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, I know we have just a few minutes left, but I do want to add something very special, because there are two amazing women who are not in the space with us tonight, but who are very much a part of our group space as well, who have asked me to just share their love for this space. And that is Monica and Christina. They have been influential in our group space. And Monica has just this amazing smile. She always lights us up. And Christina is so thoughtful and has a very big heart, and she's been so there for all of us as well. And though their journeys are not mine to share, Christina has asked me to honor her son, Alex, who passed away from depression, and to honor him by letting people know that men's mental health also needs attention, and that we honor Alex tonight as well. And we honor John Robert, Monica's son, tonight as well. I really wanted to take a moment while we had some time to make sure that those two women and their children were with us here tonight as well.
Yeah. I think we're just going to take a moment of silence, Arika and the team, for just remembering those, Alex and John Robert. Let's just take a moment, maybe share a heart, a blue heart, a candle in the chat for our friends. What a beautiful space. Thank you, Kelly, for sharing again. Just to clarify, these are moms talking about the loss of their children. Arika, I wonder, lastly, if you could talk a little bit about, and I've got to move forward because if I don't, I'm going to run out of time, and I want to make sure that we even close with honor and respect like we've opened. Can you talk a little bit about self-care, ladies who have been a part of your group, those that are listening in that are not a part of that group, but have gone through difficulties in their life? What are some self-care tips that they can do to help them through the grieving process that you found? Can you share a little bit?
Well, for one, I would say that it's a representation of why we're here. I think relationships save lives. I think that relationships with people who care and that love you and that are there for you, I think that that is one of the biggest forms of self-care. But I also think it's honoring, your individual needs. So, I've seen the women share how they walk every day, or they journal, or they make time to talk to their children every day. And I think that that's so unique to each of them. So, from my heart, I would say the biggest thing I've seen that's been that support and their self-care was showing up for themselves and each other. That was the most beautiful thing that I witnessed.
Yeah, I love it. Sabrina, you have a thought on self-care?
Basically, it's you have to make sure that you take time for you. If you're too busy taking care of everybody else and worrying about everybody else, and worrying about things that you can't change, and you're going to knock yourself deeper into that hole of depression if that's what you're dealing with. So you have to take, I don't care if it's 5 minutes to go sit on the front porch and talk to nobody and do nothing but close your eyes and think happy thoughts. You have to do that for you.
Yeah, I love it. Sit on the front porch, close your eyes, and think happy thoughts. I love it. Kelly, I see your hand. Thoughts about self-care, maybe that you have been able to implement on your journey? Maybe Kelly still has her hand up from before. It's okay. Friends, thank you so very much. I want to honor everybody for being here. Thank you, Arika, for having this space and opening it up. What do you think, Arika? How did we do?
I think this was amazing. My heart is so full. I'm so proud of everybody here for showing up, for sharing, for connecting. It's everything and more. I'm blown away. The women that I've been able to connect with, I mean, I learn from them like every time I'm with them, and they're so close to my heart. Like I think about them all the time and their kiddos. So I'm just so honored to be a part of this, to be able to honor their voices and to be able to honor their beautiful children. So thank you for letting me have a space to share so much honor for some amazing souls.
Yeah, you're very welcome. I love this. I get to participate, a fly on the wall. Our thoughts and our prayers go out to each and every one of you. I do want to acknowledge Carla again for being vulnerable enough Kelly for sharing, each of you for sharing. While we have us each here together, make sure you press and hold that other friend's avatar and choose follow, and then you can actually message them. If you would like to have another group like this get started, please reach out to myself or to Arika, and then let's get a list forming and let's figure out how we can create a new space and welcome a new group of people who are grieving moms who have lost. And what would be so beautiful, Arika, would be to look back in another 6 months and see 6 more beautiful souls that came through the grieving process and holding space now for others, right? We just keep casting the
Absolutely.
net and pulling them forward, casting the net and pulling them forward. Arika, would you close us, please? 30 seconds, whatever's on your heart, a word of encouragement that you could leave us with to think about.
To every person that's in this space right now, you're so special. Your journey matters, and support matters. You receiving support matters. And I'm so, so proud of you for being here tonight, for honoring yourself, for whoever was on your heart and mind and why you joined tonight. I'm so proud of you for showing up tonight.
Thank you so much. Ladies, those of you that have shared, that have been a part of this group, thank you for giving us a peek inside of your heart and your souls and the memories of your children. Friends, that's all the time that we have. My name is Jeff, and I feel extremely honored to be able to host this space along with Arika. We invite you to circles. We invite you to come back for more. At the close of our meeting, you're going to be able to share your thoughts about this specific meeting. Would you do that? Leave a word of encouragement, something that you are going to take with you, and then you can follow me when I host another room. You would get notified as well. Arika and all of the ladies from your group, God bless you. Thank you for being here. Those of you that have been our special guests, thank you. And that is all the time we have. Good night, everybody. God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jeff.
You're welcome, love. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.